It is close and very bright. Jeez Louise. I should have filtered it. What is that? Oh. I love this. Sorry, y'all. Playing with filters. Okay. Good morning. I'm going to do a full moon reading in a couple of minutes and talk about the full moon in Aries. Thank goodness. Okay. Let me just say that thank goodness it is in a fire sign and not a water sign, because that Pisces full moon was rough. It was rough, y'all. It was. And too much in the feeling department. Although this won't be devoid of feelings, but it will be passionate, fiery. And I mean, I feel like I don't have to explain fiery to Sagittarius. We know that it's different. Like, it does hold emotions, but it's different, is all I can think to say. So it's going to be very passionate, and as we know, I mean, I've read everything out there that they've been selling on it, and so I'm going to give my own take on it. You know, it will be affecting relationships because of Libra, because the sun is in Libra, but, you know, Aries rules the house of self, and so it is going to focus on self. It is going to, with all full moons, we release stuff. Of course, we release what's not serving us. That's like goes without saying. I mean, hopefully that is the work that you do for a full moon, but because it's a super moon, you can also manifest with this moon. I feel like some full moons, and this is your last chance. Like, if you do manifesting work, this is your last chance before eclipse season starts, which I believe is around the 15th, somewhere around there. We have our first eclipse in Libra and then in Taurus, which the Taurus eclipse is going to complete a cycle on the Taurus Scorpio axis. But let's talk about this full moon, because it will affect you most where you have Aries. So you look according to your rising sign, will tell you what house you have Aries in. And later on, if anyone wants to know what house they have Aries in, just drop your rising sign in the comments, and later I will answer you. That is the area of life you will be affected the most, because movement happens, events happen in our houses. Planets for us are influence and energies. Okay, so that's the difference, in case you don't know all that much about astrology. So, you know, we will, you know, I feel as if this has to do with pushing our goals forward, our personal goals, like things that are meaningful to you, not things that are meaningful necessarily to other people. As we know, since the nodes are in Aries and Libra, this is going to be the theme for the next 2 years. You will see a lot more people being single than before, because we're really pushing forth our personal goals. And Aries wants you to think about your sense of self. So, you know, in terms of what you should release, Well, you should release anything that's not good for you personally, but that can look like things about yourself. Uh, ways of moving for yourself that you don't want to do anymore. Maybe they say it's a move away from people pleasing, right? But Aries always does the right thing. Um, Aries is very much about structure and building and doing the right thing, and Aries takes their time. They don't care how long it takes, right? So, I know everyone likes to think about Aries as a quick moving energy, but if you look at the energy of the Emperor, that's not the case. Aries is not a quick moving energy. Aries is about building, about bossing up, doing the right thing, and I feel like, what we should be thinking about for this full moon are what are the aspects of ourselves that we want to release. That could look like anything. That could look like imposter syndrome. It could look like, you know, people pleasing, that kind of thing. So you really should be thinking about what's good for you. And I actually think since Libra is involved, it's a great time to write down on paper, get back in touch with, especially since Libra is involved, since we're bringing balance to our relationships. It doesn't mean a whole lot of relationships are going to end. I mean, I feel like the universe is just going to come in and release things that aren't good for you if you don't do it yourself. But, it's like this question, who do you want to be going forward? Right? Who do you want to be? Just you. No one else. Not your kids, not your partner, not your boss. It's like, who do you want to be? And so these are the things that we are hopefully thinking about. So, it's a good day to reaffirm your boundaries. Now, understand that boundaries are for you, not for other people. It's a good day to take a look at your boundaries, take a look at your non-negotiables when it comes to your relationships with others, and not just romantic partners. Your non-negotiables with family, your non-negotiables at work, all of it. I really, because I read all the comments, I see what everyone doesn't want to deal with anymore, and I get it, but we also need to, there's our boundaries and how we want to move, and then there's what can we accept. Like, what can you accept? Because you can't expect everyone in your life is going to move like you. So what can you accept is the question. And that can really sit in your non-negotiables. So, we're all different. And so I always say when it comes to boundaries, we need to be reasonable, to be honest. There has to be wiggle room a little bit for negotiating things. What are you willing to negotiate? What are you not willing to negotiate? Those are questions you might want to be asking yourself about your relationships with other people and the relationship with yourself. So where it's in your chart, what house will tell you where you will be most affected, but we will all be affected by it. And so my biggest advice for full moons always is stay low. Because I'm an Aries rising. I hope I'm not out here acting the fool. I really do. But I can't guarantee that, right? Because Aries is aggressive. They seem combative, but it's tied into their passion. I don't really feel as if they're fighting, And as an Aries rising, the full moon is transiting my first house. So this is my sense of self. And there's a lot going on in my first house, let me tell you. Because I'm in a nodal return. My North Node is there. My Lilith is there. All the things are there. So, yeah. So hopefully I'll have an easier time. For Sagittarius rising, I know specifically it is transiting the 5th house. That is dating and relationships. One of the relationship houses. Our relationship houses are the 5th, 6th, and 7th, and 8th, actually. Good morning, Erica. So I'm going to get ready to start and some energies for the Sagittarius Collective. Remember that these are general readings, so they may or may not apply for you. Don't look, and the full moon is Friday, so don't necessarily look to find this in what's going on today. Just saying, you should always approach tarot readings with an open mind. And understand that we are dealing with energies and there's always free will. You can do what you want. The other people involved can do what they want. Things could change at any time. That's why I do them every day. But we're using the manifestation deck for Moonology. And I'm an intuitive reader, meaning, I translate messages intuitively. Of course, always an open heart. If you don't have, I can't even, and this is an energy that's happening with Sagittarius. I feel like Sagittarius is, based on all the readings this week, it really feels as if Sagittarius's heart is breaking wide open. Even in ways that I am a Sagittarius as well, that we have been guarded, is starting to just kind of explode. What may be a little different about me is that I have a lot of water in my chart. But anyway, let's get to it. So the energy that is rising. So this is the energy that is building up to the full moon. It's the first quarter moon in Sagittarius. And you couldn't ask for a better energy, honestly. Because the first quarter moon are those actions that we take after we set intentions for the new moon. Right? So the truth is that believe in your good luck. Sagittarius is taking action on new things that they're wanting to bring in. So that's really magical. And at the end, I will tell you about a ritual that I am doing for this full moon. If you're interested in rituals, it's a very simple one. Yeah. So internally, it's really beautiful, and it's exactly what you're saying, Erica, is that the new moon in Libra is here, which we will actually be going towards a new moon after all this mess. So in a couple of weeks, we will be going towards the new moon in Libra. And know you are loved. So that's what's going on internally. Your heart opening, a balance coming in your heart center and feeling loved. You could also be attracting relationships. But I really feel like what has been happening with Sagittarius is getting ready for them. Okay? Hi, Karina. Sagittarius is getting ready for relationships, which you cannot do with a closed heart. You can't do with walls too high for people to climb. And I feel like Sagittarius, no offense, I know some people are going to fight me, but have really been sitting in some serious Seven of Wands energy. You can't want love and attract it with a guarded heart. I mean, I know. Oh, jeez. Sagittarius Venus. So you attract a lot of people. Good for you, Erica. I'm a Libra Venus, and I am a Sagittarius Sun and Moon. Those are my only Sagittarius placements, actually. But they're pretty big, right? So there's definitely internally this sense of feeling loved and, really getting ready for love, to be honest. Oh, Sagittarius Venus. And I can tell you, Erica, who you should go after. Now, who you're attracted to, your Mars sign will tell you the type of people you're attracted to. But in terms of relationships, for you, Erica, you definitely need an open-minded person. And you need a person with a good sense of adventure, someone who likes to try new things and likes to travel and likes to learn. that is the type of person that, you know, you will get bored easily. Honestly, you will get bored easily. Well, Sagittarius is, in general, get a lot of attention, and we generally don't notice it, to be honest. There's something about Sagittarius energy that is just crazy, right? It's serious Riz. We got the charisma. So you are getting ready for love. You are. You are. So what's going on in the external world? Okay. You ready? Cancer energy, which most Sagittarius really detest. Okay. I don't know. Like, I'd be surprised to see a relationship that worked out between a Sagittarius and a Cancer. We generally don't like Cancer energy, because all water signs are sensitive. You're welcome. All water signs are sensitive, but Cancer takes it to another level. And it's like, there's something about them that just doesn't mesh well with us, right? But in the external world is last quarter moon in Cancer. Now, the last quarter moon is kind of where it's like where we round up after the full moon. Right? we release during the full moon, but the last quarter moon is kind of where we're recovering, you know, and getting ready for the new moon. And so, you know, there's a sense of just, you know, breathing out. And that could be because other people were acting sensitive, because there's a lot of emotions during the full moon. And I do feel a lot of withdrawal within Sagittarius's energy. And it's just, though, it's like this getting ready energy. I can't explain it, but you can't, like, literally a lot of times do the work around other people, you know. And I feel like externally people might be a little overwhelming. So you may feel the need to just withdraw and relax, you know, and breathe out is what the Cancer energy is telling you. Now, what's directly connected with Cancer is sensitivity. Okay? It could be your own sensitivity, but since it's your external world, it's probably dealing with other people. Okay? With other people. I know lately the energies have felt really negative to me. Like, just like, as a collective energy, I feel like I've had to put up with so much negativity within my friendship groups, within, you know, social media, all of it. And I just am like, no, I cannot. No, I cannot, because I will take it there. If we're going to go there, I will take it there. So what you need to release is last quarter moon in Aries. Work through your feelings. There could be some stuff coming up, and it could be, you know, I feel like we have two cards that are last quarter moon, so there is some recovery energy. And, you know, Aries is, like I said, it's very fiery. It can come off angry at times, and there just feels like there is, you know, you may just have to be in this shake it off energy from whatever happened. And keep in mind that full moon energy generally lasts 3 days. I mean, it's quick. It's like what I always tell myself is that it's 3 days, and I'm not, you know, going to get. And the reason why I talk about, like, the zodiac energy so much is because it can let you know why things are happening, like why you feel this way. Like, whenever there's like a strong Pluto influence, it's like, why am I so dark? And by the way, Pluto retrograde is going direct in October too, I believe. Okay, so what you're calling in. You're really thinking about what's important. Okay? So, the full moon in Capricorn, I believe Pluto's in Capricorn, I'm not sure. But full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. So you're going to be taking a look at what is working. What's working, what's not. Because Saturn rules Capricorn. And Saturn is about our responsibilities. It's about our load. So maybe, it feels like you want to clear things out that you don't need to bother with. There's a 3-day build-up, supposedly 3 days before and 3 after, but I generally feel like it really only lasts for 3 days, period. It runs through pretty quick. It does. And I always think, because on the other end, like after the full moon, it starts to move this way. So, like in terms of emotions and feelings, it won't be that strong. It's the before. It's the build-up that's usually with everything, with retrogrades, with everything. So you're really going to be thinking about what's important. Okay, and what's important, what isn't important. Because what isn't important in terms of where you're going, you can let it go. You can let it go. What's working and what's not working. Capricorn. Because Capricorn wants you to do the right thing, too. Saturn is like responsibility daddy. And this is about responsibilities. And then the last quarter moon in Sagittarius is here. I mean, I really feel like you're going to be thinking about what's important to you and really being grateful for what's important to you and really just letting go of whatever isn't. Sometimes that has to do with the little things, or even the people in your life. Like, is it important to you to have certain people in your life? Who is important to you? Who is going with you? And who isn't? Because who isn't doesn't need to have a strong position in your life. And this is another thing. I mean, I know this is like one big TED talk for Heidi, but this is another thing. Like, I just went through this with a client. You don't need to cut people off. Like, all you need to do is reposition people. Seriously, reposition them. So you take a look at who's important in your life, and how you move with them changes according to their position. What you give to them changes according to their position. So you will really be thinking about that. And that's what you're calling in, because you're thinking about where you're going. Sagittarius does nothing but that. That is like the big picture. That is the big picture. And there's so much last quarter moon energy here that I really feel like for Sagittarius in particular, to just sit through the full moon and then afterwards reflect, like, strongly, like, what did this full moon teach me? Because you literally are sitting there. Of course we don't make plans in the full moon. We don't set intentions, really. I mean, we kind of know what we want to bring in, but there's going to be a lot for you to think about after. Okay, after the dust settles and you take a look at it, you're like, oh boy. So this is what I need to do for the new moon. These are where my intentions need to be. Yeah, we released a lot of people this year, to be honest, in a way. I've also seen, we've also brought some people into a better balance, because I had someone really important in my life come back. I was ready to let them go because I'm a Sagittarius. But it came back better and stronger, and I'm really grateful for that. And part of it, because Sagittarius is very masculine energy. We want things the way we want them. We often can have a lot of trouble with surrender and just letting things be. And I think, like, it's something that Sagittarius has to learn is controlling outcomes. I feel like because we're big picture people, we think we can see down the line what's going to happen. So we want to like adjust the movements now. And I feel like we're moving away from that energy. We are not go with the flow people. Like, we are mutable signs, but I disagree with anyone who says that Sagittarius is a go with the flow person. We are micromanagers to the extreme. And it's because of that big picture thinking, you know? And your advice from the universe is just that. Take a step back after the full moon and reflect. Don't share your feelings with people. And like Sagittarius, such oversharers, right? It's not a time to share your feelings with others. It's a time for you to process everything that went on and where this is leading you. Because it kind of is, we are coming to the culmination of the end of the year. And we did just move into a new season. So next, I'm going to do some passions that you might be coming towards you. You might be exploring. These are the life purpose cards. Yeah, well, that's retrograde season for you. And if you look at like tarot readings, so many of them are like a constant past people thing. And what people complain about it, what they don't get is that we're reading energy, and the energy is retrogrades bring people back. And they bring people back to work things out. It doesn't mean you have to spend your life with them, you know? Just saying. So what passions will Sagittarius be exploring? Should they be open to going forward? Full moon. Full moon. Very true. Sometimes, and you know, sometimes it's not like, they don't always come back to be with forever. Like sometimes it's just to take a second look at something. You know, to sometimes, I mean, I don't want to use the word closure because I don't believe in it. But what retrogrades are is reset and edits. That's what they are. Oh, good morning, Sam. How's everything? How's the kids? And this, for those coming late, this will replay on the channel, so. Let's see what passions may be coming towards you during this full moon period. What might be coming towards you, what might help you. Because Aries is passionate. Passions for Sagittarius. Passions for Sagittarius. Passions for Sagittarius. Well, we've had so many lessons in the past 3 years. It's just insane. Hopefully Libra is smoothing everything out, because I love Libra season. Libra and Capricorn season. Wow, a bunch of shit. Sorry. Sorry. Alright. So, and it's so refreshing to see men on this channel. It is. Because I can tell you, like, I rarely have men book readings. Very Sagittarius. Study, so maybe looking into further education or just taking a course. Sagittarius loves nothing but a class. We love to learn. So you may be finding yourself engaging in learning. There's a lot here, by the way. Talk to your angels. Instead of worrying, ask for divine guidance. Also Sagittarius, because we are actually very spiritual, of course. But the 9th house doesn't mean what you think it does. Everyone thinks it's the spiritual house, but it's the house of discovery and expansion. So it's really the learning house. Yes. I agree, Sam. You should see how stupid I act, Sam. Every time, like, I could make $10 and I get like super excited. I just have that kind of crazy energy, really. And I, like all Sagittarians, have to be happy. I I will, and this is what I said the other day, like, I will process through negative stuff, but I give myself a time period for it. Like, and people, like, the way Sagittarius bounces back from negative things is legendary, but it also makes people look at us like we're flaky, right? But I literally do that. I remember when I was getting over some heartbreak, it was really painful, but I didn't want to feel it all day, right? So I decided that from 10 to 11, I was going to feel that pain. And from 10 to 11, I allowed myself to feel that pain. I cried, whatever I needed to do. And that was it, because I got to be happy. I can't stay down. I cannot stay down. No way. And no Sagittarius can. Even the ones you see that lean a little bit more towards the pessimism, you can't. And that's why you have to be careful what you put out there. You really do. Let go. Okay, so some of you might be letting go of something. Books, even more learning. Even more learning. So I really think that reading might be something that would help you during this time. Oracle cards. So just keep watching Heidi. Keep coming back. Okay? If you do have an Oracle deck is, I think everyone should have one. You can do a card pull for yourself every day to kind of be inspired or check on your energy. But if not, come and watch Heidi, because Heidi does Oracle cards every day. And you're on the right path. Believe in yourself. Okay. I don't think those are new passions, but I feel like the universe is telling you to learn something, because we really flourish in that kind of energy. Whenever we're learning something new, like right now I'm learning sacred geometry. So, and those are the kinds of things that I do, because, but I have a whole list of things I want to learn. Okay? Because I have this big desire to live off the grid. I want to give society the middle finger, and I want to go live out in the woods somewhere. Thank you, Sam. So I want to learn gardening and fishing and all that kind of stuff. Thank you. I'm kind of like, I'm not an astrologer, but I kind of have a really healthy obsession with it. Since I started to realize you can literally see your whole life in your chart. But we're going to do something for your soul too. Oh, these cards, man. Alright. So we're going to see, and you can use this even to write, and then I'll talk about my ritual for the full moon, which is a little different. A little different. Because it's harvest, it would be different in your offering. Most rituals for the moon transits involve an offering of some kind. People don't talk about that, though. Got to give something to get something. That's what I say. And also, if you guys have been paying attention, I started a new channel for spiritual practice and different things, and that's linked in all the readings. So yesterday I demonstrated a little candle magic, because I don't care, Sagittarius believes in magic. We very much do. Because we're big picture people. We're not like earth signs and have to see evidence of everything. So let's see what your soul wants to tell you, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius' soul want to tell them? And I do a lot of readings, so I generally do 3 readings a day, because I don't do all the signs. I do Sagittarius and I do Pisces. So, and if you're interested in Pisces, that channel is called Pisces Cove. So what do you want to tell Sagittarius? Sagittarius is soul truth. Sagittarius is soul truth, please. One card. Oh, two. What's going on in your soul? Alright. Oh! This is funny. Am I afraid to be seen? The world doesn't want you to hold back any longer. This has been another energy going on with Sagittarius. Stop dimming your light. Okay? Time to shine your unique light on the world. You were made from love, and from love you are whole. There is no more hiding. There is no more shame. There is only truth. Live naked and free, but don't do that literally. So you're being called to ask, what parts of yourself do you hide from the world? What parts of me do I hide so I can be socially accepted and fit in? And do y'all want to fit in? Fitting in is actually the opposite of belonging. Do I allow myself to be all of me? What do I need to feel so I can be safe to be seen? Journal your answers. I feel sometimes like Sagittarius, myself included, our energy is big. And I feel like sometimes we lack a filter, definitely. And you should have a filter, I'm sorry. Like, you can't just go around saying anything to anybody. We know this. But sometimes we have this way of quieting ourselves too much to make it okay for people. Yes, Coco. I'm going to show on my other channel today, I'm going to show a manifestation technique I found online with sacred geometry. It's some sort of triangle. I forget what they called it. But yeah, it's neat. Okay. Am I communicating my needs? Wait, what? I know, say exactly what you mean at all times. I hear you. Some people do, Coco, and like, I don't know. It's just what I've learned as I've gotten older. But I will tell you something funny, though. My father is a Sagittarius, too. And it's really funny how you see things in your chart. Because my dad is a Sagittarius. My mom was a Scorpio. And I have so much Scorpio and Sagittarius. It's crazy. But he lacks a filter. He doesn't have a filter. And it can really hurt people's feelings. And we can go along saying it's okay. The truth hurts if people get hurt. But no. You know, we always should have a sense of responsibility. So I've learned that even in my readings. I don't deliver the hard truth hard. I don't. I'm still telling the truth, you know. I just think that we do have to have a filter, but the filter doesn't mean that you... I think we have the tendency to dim it too much, you know. I think that we deliver truth in a very brutal way. And it isn't always necessary to do that. You can soften it and still get your point across, is what I'm saying. Your needs matter. What are you needing right now that you haven't communicated? What are you afraid of? Is it possible that what you are fearing is not true? Journal these answers. What are my needs? Am I saying no and yes based on my desires? Ooh. Am I telling my full truth? Do I believe that my needs matter, and do I share them with others? Do I ask for what I want? And this is so funny because I saw this in a previous reading about Sagittarius and even a post. Sagittarius needing, and I feel like that's why we're having this open-hearted energy for us. Needing to be receptive. Needing to be able to, you know, we keep our feelings to ourselves. It's hard for us, I feel like. And it's definitely hard for us to ask for help. And, I don't know if you want to look at having your needs met. Sagittarius tends to help everybody else. And then we get mad because people were always helping everyone else. Well, you have to let people help you, which means in order to let people help you, you have to let people see you. You have to let people see what you need. And like, I seriously have been through this because even in my friendships, I've noticed that I'm always there to help them. As a matter of fact, I push my help on them, and I don't let them see me in a way where they could show up for me. So are you allowing people to show up for you? That's something to think about. That's not like, putting the hurting on you, Sagittarius. That's not. Oh, yeah. I have, you know what, Sam? Sometimes people can trigger you in that way that, like, and that's a very Sagittarius thing, too. Like, when we're triggered, we hurt people. So that's the time in which I always have to check in with myself. I have very soft energy. As a matter of fact, a lot of people have said to me, "Oh, I can't even believe you're a Sagittarius." I'm like, you have the wrong impression of Sagittarius then. Because all signs, all people evolve. And I am very in touch with my feminine energy. And the problem with Sagittarius often is that it's very masculine. And I just happen to have a balance and have done a lot of work on myself. I've done that. Like, I've been sarcastic and I've hurt people's feelings. I have. But, you know, and yes, I mean, emotional safety is really important, and especially in terms of exposing yourself. But here's the question, Erica. How do you know where you have emotional safety? Like, if you don't, like, and this is what I'm saying, like, if you're not vulnerable, how do you know where emotional safety lives? With who? Like, that's what I've come to realize. That, okay, so if I tell you something really personal about myself, or how I feel, or one of my flaws, right? With anyone in your life, you don't really know. Just because they share emotions with you doesn't mean that you have emotional safety with them. You don't know until you do it, basically, is kind of my take on it. And sometimes it's harsh when it's not reciprocated. I find, personally, I don't want people in my life that I can't be that way with. And this may be because I'm a Scorpio Mercury. I could count on one hand my friends. People I truly consider friends. I can tell you in terms of soul energy, I have one person who sees my soul. One person that I would trust with that kind of exchange. I can share my emotions with you because because your response is not, like, I don't depend on it, right? But, of course, like, it's so funny what people think people want in relationships is so skewed. I think we want safety in relationships, especially women. When I think about what I want in a relationship, I want safety. But even more than that, and I said this to a friend a few months ago, my mind and my energy is very focused on spiritual peace. So because of the amount of work I've done, I can't let you in if you're not offering that. If you're not sharing that with me. How do you know who has hidden motives, Denise? That's what I'm saying. I mean, you can drip a little to people, but how do you know who has motives? You don't know until it happens. You know, so you don't share your deep, dark secrets with everybody. For sure. Yeah. I mean, that's true. That's true, but I kind of feel like, yeah, but sometimes, you know, I'm not saying share everything with everybody. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, you know, and most times if people share something really personal with you, then odds are that is someone you can share really personal things with. But sometimes, you know, you have to know where it's coming from because your mind lies and your mind controls your emotions. You know, and sometimes when we've been cut, a lot of times we have this expectation that we're going to be cut. So, just saying. Just saying. Did you know that Sagittarius is the most intuitive sign? Like, people think it's other signs, but in my experience, it's Sagittarius. And everyone thinks that, like, Cancer is on the list, and Cancer isn't on the list for me. For me, it's Sagittarius, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah. So I'm going to round this off with the ritual that I do for this full moon in Aries, because we are in a time of harvest, meaning we are attracting harvest from what we have worked on. No, but you have to learn the difference between your mind and your intuition. It's harsh. It's hard. It is. So, anyways, I do moon water because this is a super moon. And I make it really simple. I write down a list of things I want to release in terms of myself because Aries rules the house of self. Okay? Side note, also redo your boundaries. Also redo your non-negotiables. Also redo how you see relationships in terms of what's okay, what's not okay in relationships for you, because we are connected to Libra. But for this full moon, you want to write down things about yourself that aren't serving you anymore, that you don't need. We're getting rid of stuff, right? And you also need to write what you want to bring in. And here's where the ritual, you can also tape this on the bottom and speak it to the water because water holds energy, it holds emotions. And you take seeds. Now you can get these seeds from anywhere because you have to make an offering, right? So I've seen a lot of people say fruits and vegetables, but I'm not putting fruits and vegetables outside. Not with animals and things. Oh, thank you so much. So take seeds. You can take seeds from apples, from oranges, wherever it is you want to get them. And each seed represents something that you want to call in. So you want to make that known. It is setting an intention sort of, and put it in the water, right? Put the water out in the moon, and we don't save this water. Now, I know that goes against everything everyone says, but we don't save this water because we're trying to harvest. So we give the water back to the earth with the seeds so that what we want to bring in will grow because it starts out there. If you're wanting moon water for personal use, then you should make extra. But that is my full moon ritual. Plant those seeds, y'all. Plant those seeds, and I'll talk to you later.